In this video, I am going to show you exactly how a top performing software sales rep structures his day in order to make more money, in order to get promoted quicker, in order to just be the best, the top performer at your job. If you listen to this video very closely and you put into action everything that I teach you and everything that I show you here, I absolutely guarantee, zero shadow of a doubt, you will make more money. You will set a lot more meetings. You will be one of the top performers at your company, if not the top performer, and you will get promoted quicker. So that being said, let's go ahead and let's dig into it. For reference, and because a lot of people are going to wonder, everything that I'm going to show you in this video, you only will need to work about 5 hours a day, Monday through Friday, and you can be a top performing sales rep if you do exactly what I'm going to tell you here. So when I say top performing sales rep, what do I mean? So I've been in my software sales position for almost a year and a half now. I started in January of last year, and when I started, I was brought on board the same exact day with 3 other business development reps. So there were 4 of us total. Since that day, I have set more meetings on a monthly basis than the other 3 combined. One of them is actually no longer with the company, but before they left, I was still setting more meetings on a daily or in a monthly basis than the other 3 combined. I have not had a single month in my company that I have not set more meetings than every other business development rep. We have a sales competition based on how many meetings you're set and the value of your meetings. I have won it literally. There has not been a single month I have not won it. And I'm usually somewhere around 200 to even up to 300% quota. So that being said, those are the results I'm getting right now. And I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. So how I structure my day and just what my week looks like in software sales. When I started out, I was working 8 to 12 hours a day, every single day, grinding as hard as I can because I just loved doing it, and I was not super efficient yet. So I had to work a little bit more to get everything down and just excel at my role quicker. Now I'm working about 5 really tough hours a day, as in super focused, and I still have days obviously where I work 8 hours a day. I do that as I need to, but work-life balance is extremely important to me, so I have to always make sure I'm not getting burnt out. Let's just go ahead and dig into what my day looks like. So I typically like to wake up around 7 to 7:30 in the morning, and I get working almost immediately then. If you're not an early riser, you can get up as late as 9 o'clock, but this is how my day looks. Okay, I'm just going to go straight through it. I wake up around 7 or 7:30 in the morning. First thing I'll do, I'll get my laptop out and I log into everything. What I'm going to do and what I recommend you doing is I send a good morning message to my team's group message on Slack. I say, good morning, hope everyone has a great day. Maybe I'll send a messaging to my direct manager or my VP of sales. And I recommend you do this because what this is going to do is it's going to show them that you're an early riser, you are very ambitious, and you are all about your goals. Like, you are up early before everyone else and you're getting stuff done, and that will be so well received. So I send something around 7 or 7:30 in the morning. Usually I'll take a very quick shower, about 10 minutes, get out of the shower, and I'm ready to go. I've got my laptop out. Usually I'm at my desk where I'm at right now, or I'm in my bedroom just working from my bed. And how that that first hour looks is I'm essentially just scrolling through LinkedIn, I'm scrolling through Salesforce, our CRM, and I'm finding good fit contacts to send emails to for that day. So I'm looking and I'm finding, who have we not reached out to in a long time? Has anyone expressed interest and has not been touched in a long time? And maybe we need to get back in touch with them. Has anybody asked us months ago to get back with them in a few months? Now would be the perfect time to do so. And I'm just doing all of that. I'm looking and just making sure I'm finding every good fit prospect that I could possibly book a quick meeting with. And I'm getting all of those set up, and I'm making a note of every one of those prospects in like a Google document. So that way I don't just forget about them and I can remember them throughout the day. I can remember to send them an email. I can remember to send them a call. So that is the very first thing I do. Right after that, I'm going to get my emails started as soon as possible. The reason for that is because if you can email a CEO, a VP of marketing, a VP of sales early in the morning, you have a much higher chance of getting a response. One, they're usually already working and the day hasn't really gotten to them yet, so employees aren't in the office yet. They're not in meetings already. If you send them an email, they can go ahead and email you back. You can send an email to a CEO. I asked my CEO if this would be well received. He said yes. You can send an email to a CEO as early as 5:30 in the morning. A lot of times they are literally already up, and if they're not and they see your email, they're going to read it and they're going to respect that you are already up working early. So I highly, highly recommend doing that. Get all of your emails sent out as quickly as possible. And then from there, after you've sent about 20 to 30 emails, what I do, and that is the bulk of your day, getting those initial emails sent and then finding those contacts before you sent the emails. That is the hardest part of your day. After that, what I'm going to do, I take a little bit of a break, and so I'll do one of two things. Usually after I work for 2 hours, I will drive down the road. I go to a supermarket and I get an energy drink. I sip it on the way back and I get to work right when I get back. The reason I do that, it just makes me feel good. It's something I look forward to every single morning, and it allows me to reset. And then it gives me caffeine and energy to really crush the next few hours. So once I get back, usually what I'm looking at is I'm finding every single contact that I want to cold call. So these are people who have, I feel like really good about setting a meeting with them, whether that is they work at a company that has a lot of competitors that we're already working with. Maybe it's someone who's expressed interest in the past. Maybe they've recently worked at a company that we do work with. I just find something that separates them. I put them in a list and I'm going through and I'm just doing cold calls. So from about 9 to 11 in the morning, I highly recommend doing cold calls then. You're going to have the highest answer rate more than any other time of the day. It is the easiest to go ahead and get time on those people's calendars because they're already, they don't have a ton of stuff going on yet. And you can go ahead and easily get something set up with them for later in the day or later that week. And so 9 to 11 in the morning, I'm just doing cold calls. You might ask, Jacob, how many cold calls do you do in a day? I don't do an insanely ridiculous amount, but every cold call has a purpose. So I'm doing anywhere from 25 to 50 cold calls a day. If I'm not, where I want to be as far as my quota or my numbers, I will do up to 100 cold calls per day, but only 25 to 50 cold calls. I'm not doing an insane amount. I'm not doing an unrealistic amount of emails, cold calls, none of that. Like, just do everything that you need to do. Do it with a purpose and do it with urgency. Don't waste time slacking people, asking them how their day's going, all of that. Just get to work. So from about 9 to 11, I'm doing cold calls, I'm doing all of that. I'll do a quick lunch from about 11 to 12 p.m. And then from there, this is kind of like the final part of my day. I'm going to either work from 12 to 3 or 12 to 5. And so how that looks like, the last part of the day, I'm literally going through our CRM. I'm finding good fit contacts that I can go ahead and add to my email sequences. So for example, this is the ultimate hack. If you do this, you'll make more money. What I always do is I will go through and look through our Salesforce or look through our CRM, and I'll run reports that have showed people who have responded to us and wrote us emails in the past 6 months. And what I'm doing is I'm looking through every single account and any email that we've received. I read the email, and a lot of times what those emails will say is, hey, now's not a good time. Get back with me in 5 months. Get back with me in 3 months. Get back with me at the beginning of the year. And so I make a note of every single one of those. And I find some new ones almost every single day. And I make a note of them. And then what I'll do is I'll go to the account executive who owns the account. And I'll say, hey, this person asked for us to get back with them at this time. I see nobody's trying to get back with them. Is it okay if I go after them? 9 times out of 10, they will say yes. And so those are really easy meetings for you to book. And remember, if you're not already in sales or already a business development rep, you make about $250 to $300 for every meeting you book. So these are, when you book a meeting, you're making a ton of money. So I'll usually go up to my account executives. I ask them, hey, can I go ahead and set this meeting? Almost every time they will say yes. That is a very quick and easy meeting to book. That took me almost no time, and it is providing a lot of value to the company because it is getting us in front of someone who is very interested. So by you doing this, I spend about an hour a day just looking through accounts like that, looking through accounts that nobody's going after, and I send them to my account executive, and I ask them if they would be willing to let me work those accounts and prospect them. The reason that is so important is because in software sales, you are a business development rep, which means you are setting appointments for your account executive who is going to close that business. Your account executive is who assigns you the accounts to go after or the businesses to go after. So you are at their mercy because they're only, you can only go after what they allow you to go after. If they only give you 15 businesses to go after, that's all you can do. And so what I always try to do is I make their life easier. I go and find accounts that are easy to go ahead and get a meeting with, and I send it to them, and I say, hey, I think we can get this person booked. We might be able to close them, and then they let me go ahead and go after that person. So what that does, it does two things. One, it gives you an easy meeting to go ahead and book. Two, it makes your account executive's life easier. So what that means is if they find other easy meetings, if they find other software, it's like a layup, it's going to be really easy for you to book, it's going to be really easy for you to make money, they're going to send that to you over some of their other business development reps because they know you go the extra mile for them. You do everything you can to help them succeed. You put in extra work and they will reward you double for it. So it's like you're knocking off two birds with one stone. It's super, super simple. I spend about an hour a day doing that. The biggest mistake that I see most business development reps make, and this is what separates me from most of them, is they will send a ridiculous amount of emails, whether that's 50 emails, 60 emails, 70 emails, but they're not sending emails to people who are genuinely interested, or they're not sending emails to the right contacts, and they're just bulk sending emails. They're just getting emails, throwing them out there, and just hoping that somebody's going to respond. What I highly recommend doing is spending a lower amount of emails, so 25 to 40 emails a day, but make sure you're sending an email to every single person who has expressed any interest in the past, who might be interested in your company, who knows of your company in some way, who is just, you have a little nugget that you can connect them to your company. Send emails to those people and focus on those people. So I spend an hour or two a day just looking for those people to get in touch with. And so what that does is every time I send an email, it's that much more likely to get a booking. It's that much more likely for them to say yes, and I make money. On the flip side of things, and then this gets into, in the afternoons, I do my cold calling. So how it's a non-negotiable at 3 o'clock every single day, I have to do cold calls. So if I want to stop working early, what I'll do my cold calls at 3 o'clock. As soon as they're done, I'll stop working for the day. I call it a day and we're good to go. So what happens is whenever you have all of these contacts that have expressed interest in the past, maybe they have employees who maybe they've worked at a company that you're already working with, just little stuff that can connect them to your company and maybe express interest from them into your company. When you cold call them, it's so much easier for them to say yes. It's so much easier to get them to continue talking to you because you have a reason you're cold calling. You can say, hey, my name's Jacob. I saw 3 months ago you asked for us to get back in touch with you at this time. Hey, my name's Jacob. I saw you used to work at this company. They're a client of ours. I'm sure you're familiar with us. Do you have a minute? Little things like that, you're going to get so many more yeses than you would if you're just cold calling random people. So what I highly recommend, this is the biggest thing I can tell you, spend an hour or two every single day that is going to allow you to find people that are warm leads. Not cold leads, warm leads. They know about you, maybe they've been interested before, little stuff like that. And if you do that, your emails will pop off. You will have much more successful emails. Your cold calling blocks will absolutely pop off. You will have very successful cold calling blocks. And that is literally what I do to make a lot of money, to be the top performing sales rep, and to book more meetings than anyone else. It's not that hard. I work really hard for a few hours a day, and then I relax. And you have to relax. You can't work super, super hard for 8 hours a day. I used to do it, and I did it very well for a couple months. But what will happen is you will absolutely get burnt out, and then your work is not as effective. So what I personally recommend, and what works for me, is I'm going to work 5-ish hours extremely hard every single day. If I'm not where I need to be from a number standpoint or from a quota standpoint, I will work 8 hours because I'm going to put in the work that needs to be done to be successful. But that is exactly what my day looks like in software sales. You might look at this and you might say, well, Jacob, do you have meetings? Do you have any of that? In software sales, you don't have a ton of meetings. I have maybe 3 meetings per week. Obviously, I hop on those when I have to. And if I have a meeting, I'm going to usually work even earlier in the morning because I know I'm going to lose 30 minutes or lose an hour during my day. So I want to get started earlier. But that is the benefit of software sales, is your company knows your purpose is for you to book meetings for them and get more interested people. And so what your company does is they don't want to distract you with meetings and all this busy work because they're paying you to go find people for them. So you get a ridiculous amount of work-life balance. But guys, I hope that this provided a ton of value to you if you're already in software sales. If you're not in software sales, this is the best industry to be in, hands down. My only ask of you, I have nothing to sell you, is if you could leave a like and subscribe to this video. Helps me out a ton. I have nothing to sell you, but it does take a lot of work to keep this channel running. So by you helping me and liking or subscribing or even commenting, those are super helpful on this video. One, you're going to see much more of these videos. You're going to see my videos more often. You're going to get more tips. You're going to be a better sales rep. And then 2, it genuinely just helps me out. So guys, thank you so much. I hope you have a great day.